Hello YouTube. Okay, well today I want to talk to you about two things. Firstly is the recent attacks in Norway that have claimed the life of I think 92 people so far. And secondly is the latest activity from Lulzsec and Anonymous. Okay, starting with the activity in Norway. What seems to have happened is that a right-wing Christian extremist has gone on a rampage in central Oslo, I believe, and has killed or injured upwards of 100 people. Now, this is important because the Nordic countries, that is Norway, Denmark, Finland and Sweden, have one of the highest atheist populations in the entire world, topping 60% of the average population, like the population average of those countries, and also one of the highest populations per capita of pagans, and therefore both Christianity and Islam are in a vast minority in those countries. Now, the Christians have long since been attacking the Muslims for their activity in countries where they are a minority, for example the US, the UK, Australia, etc, etc. But this attack has basically proven that Christian extremists are liable to do the exact same thing if they're outnumbered. Basically, it's shown various Christian churches, it's shown them the hypocrisy that they truly have. They're very hypocritical when it comes to the denouncement of Islam for, well, attacks which are pretty much exactly the same as what they've just done. Now, this isn't supporting Islam. This is just saying they're both as bad as each other, which is pretty bad, and that it's obvious that monotheistic religions are widely able to be used to perpetrate hate crimes like this. Now, whether or not the public firstly recognises and secondly chooses to accept this is another matter entirely. And indeed, I think it's most likely that the Christian public in the Western world will simply ignore this, or just say it was another insane madman. Either one's a possibility. Now, the other thing I want to discuss before we run out of time is most recent actions of Lulzsec, who have, well, hacked into Italian government files this time, and basically have okay, that looked really bad, but I've just been pulling an unintentional all-nighter, which isn't a good idea at all. Anyway, they've hacked into Italian police files and have basically got over 8 gigs of information, and is preparing to release it in multiple installments onto the internet. I basically repeat what I said before. Is there no end to the amount of fail that the authorities seem to be made of these days? I mean, I remember back in the old days when, if anyone got even close to releasing government information, they were basically prone to no one ever heard of them ever again. I mean, these days, bloody basement dwellers from halfway across the world are hacking them, and they're basically doing nothing about it because there's nothing they can do. It's like, you put your trust in all these governments, and yet they can't protect their own computers. I mean, just how ordinary is that? I mean, I know some people are probably going to accuse me of being a anti-government anarchist here, but the point is, really the point is, there's no reason to support these, to both support, and also there's no real point in opposing them because they seem to be doing a very, very good job of failing all by themselves. They don't seem to need our help. I mean, the way that international authority has handled these recent attacks is so ordinary and so underwhelming that, to be completely honest, I'm surprised that these governments have lasted this long at all. And really, I don't see any reason that we should take them seriously after this. I mean, I'm not saying we should, riot on the streets or whatever. I'm just saying we shouldn't have anywhere near as much faith in governments as what people seem to have. I mean, even now, people are saying, the government's going to sort problems out. The government's going to help me. The government's going to do that. But it's not going to happen. And what we've got to sit down and accept is that they're incapable of protecting their own computers. They're incapable of protecting their own confidential information. If one state really wanted to get information off another state, it would be too easy. It would seriously be a case of go down to the nearest internet cafe, look at some people that look like they know what they're doing, take them back to a government facility, and basically just say, off you go, lads, have a crack at this. That's all I'll have to do. And really, it just goes to show that really anything you have online or on your computer in general isn't safe, and you really shouldn't keep personal details there. But it also shows that you just really shouldn't have too much faith in these institutions to protect us. Obviously, can't protect themselves, so I don't see how they can protect us. So that's another trophy for the Lulzsec trophy rack. I'm just wondering when, if it's going to stop. I mean, I could actually see this continuing for quite some time, and Lulzsec basically just making a mockery of pretty much every major government in the world, and then who knows where that could go. I mean, it could lead to anything from complete anarchy to brutal censorship of the internet, both of which would not be beneficial towards us, but something in between probably would be. Of course, your guess is as good as mine as to what's going to happen from now on, but my tip is basically governments continuing to try and censor the internet, fail, and then have their online power basically continue to diminish, because already independent forces such as Lulzsec and Anonymous seem to have more clout online and more ability to do things to individuals than what the government has. I mean, sure, the government could easily trace this video, for example, find out where I live, and whatever. But the fact is, Lulzsec and Anonymous could do that too, and Lulzsec and Anonymous could probably do it faster. Lulzsec and Anonymous could probably there would be more harm coming to me as a person and to people I associate with. There would be more. Basically, there's more ponage coming my way if it happens to be Lulzsec or Anonymous that are displeased with my actions than if my own government was displeased. I mean, if my own government was displeased with the videos I'm posting or whatever, then they would arrest me. They'd have to put me through trial. I'd have to do all this stuff. Whereas Lulzsec and or Anonymous would basically just, make my life a living hell. So, to be really honest, when it comes to internet security, I'll be more afraid. If I obviously wasn't in support of them. If I was if I was opposed to Lulzsec and Anonymous and I was opposed to the government, I'll be far more opposed of Lulzsec and Anonymous than I would be of the government, because the simple fact that the government is incapable of seemingly doing much to people online, at least when you compare them to organisations like Lulzsec and Anonymous. Anyway, this video has gone on for way too long, but I suppose that's what you get for having two subjects. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what happened to my face, it's basically just the shattered remnants of yesterday's makeup, which I haven't yet washed off. So, sorry about that. This video was done in a bit of a rush. Anyway, I better get going, but feel free to comment below as to your opinion on the latest events, both in Norway and online. So, yes, catch you next time.